seeing myself right here, which is pretty cool. Alright, so you might be interested in buying a used vehicle. I'm sure that you see a lot of them around and you're contemplating on actually putting money down and picking it up. This is what you need to do. You need to do this. Take your key.
Once you're able to go inside, take a look. Look for a toolkit, and under the board you may find a spare or somewhere in the lining of the trunk. Next up is condensation of the lights. Look for a foggy, watery type substance and make sure the rubber gasket is intact and the light doesn't have any cracks. Also, you want to check the side markers as well too. Make sure they're amber or they're gonna get you. You're doing great. Bring the beat back. Doing a proper assessment of the rubber gasket on the bulbs and make sure they're amber yet again. In some areas, having other colors other than amber is considered illegal. Continue to use the sun on the pinpoint dents and look for small body damage. Continue to do a thorough assessment of good fitment. Check for cracks and make sure that it's flush fitment all the way around. Do this on both sides. Now tires. Try to get as far in there as you can in the pinpoint baldness and excessive rubbing. Excessive rubbing can show that the car was previously lowered and that the suspension was tampered with. Here you can see excessive rubbing. Continue to use the sun to pinpoint small dents. Now the door hinges. Do a thorough check of both doors. Take your time, no need to rush. Make sure the door panels are sturdy and properly installed. Check for missing screws and bolts. Now to the interior. Check the glove box. All glove box compartments. You'll be surprised about what you'll find. Sometimes you might find a bill of sale from the previous owner. Or you might even find some of that moolah. Start her up. Don't just sit there. Look around. Check both windows from both panels, the driver's side and the passenger side, not just the controller from the driver's side. Make sure they both go up and down. Check the driver's side door panel, make sure it's flush. Having fun yet? It's normal to see used cars with a slight wear and tear on the interior. You may find additional flaws, such as this tear. For soft top owners, aka convertible, use the sun and protruding light to pinpoint tears, inside and outside. While you're driving, try to use the opportunity to use the cruise control options. Some previously owned cars will have detachable steering wheels, so the cruise control options may not be properly reinstalled. Also check all volume functions from the steering wheel and from the radio.
Okay, safety. Safety is paramount. You can use it for two things. Reasons as to why you're purchasing the car, or reasons as to why you are not purchasing the car.
Use all opportunities to check overhead lighting. Make sure each function of the headlight works. Now while you're doing this, make sure you go outside and walk around. Also check the turn signals as well too, and the side markers. The side markers should light once you're indicating that you're making a turn, so make sure they blink accordingly. Check high beams in the lock position and in the flashing position. You want to make sure what you're paying for is actually working. AC and heat unit, make sure those work. Make sure the gauge cluster hasn't been tampered with at all. Next up, Mileage. Make sure that the indicated mileage is what you expect. Okay, this is extremely important for manual transmissions or manual cars. Make sure you're able to drive the car in every single gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6. If you're unable to drive, ask the seller to drive the car for you and you make assessments. Also check the reverse. If that works as well too, give yourself a thumbs up. Now, let's pop the hood. If you can't find it, typically it's in the front, somewhere near where the pedals are. Pop it open. Now, some individuals have never opened up a hood of a car before. That's perfectly fine. We're just the drivers, we're not mechanics. Typically a hood of a car, just as a safety feature, has a latch. Take your finger, do a swoop from right to left. You'll feel the latch. It kind of has like a little play with it. The hood should pop right open. There you go. Try not to do this at night. It's hard to make proper assessments. Once the hood of the car is open, continue to thoroughly inspect for leaks, things that don't look like they're supposed to be there, and things you might want to question why you're buying this car. Okay, so for those of us that never opened up a hood of a car before, it's not going to stay open on its own. We're going to need to take the bar that was laying across here, pull it open as I show you here, and insert into the hole that's under the hood. As you're making an assessment, question additional parts such as the strut bar here. Typically you don't see aftermarket parts, and you can question the seller about it. Additional parts may indicate the type of previous owners that own the car. Feel free to check the throttle. Doing so will give the impression that you know what you're doing, when obviously you don't. Listen for sounds that don't sound like the car is functioning properly.
If you want to help persuade the individual that's selling the car to mark the price down a little bit more, you can use the flaws that you found to do so. You guys learned something? Take it easy, enjoy life, be positive, remember to breathe, and everything will be fine. See you next time.